Young Dolph had 100 on his head. Somebody had 5 on their head, 10 on their head. He mentioned the prices too.
So it was almost like a catalog. This person cost this much. This person cost
telling
this
us
much.
who had money on their head, who had the most money on their head,
And who had
prices.
the
Dolph
most?
had the most money.
And he had 100,000.
100,000.
And when you say his head,
I mean, if you kill Young Dolph, you get 100,000.
Clock in. Black Gotti just walked in. Team Black Gotti, stand up, man. Yo. Back with another video. Murder trial of Young Dolph. Alright, y'all. We back with another video, man. And this video is the murder of Young Dolph's trial. Tennessee versus Hernandez Govan. If you don't know who Hernandez Govan is, he is the alleged conspirator of the murder that took place that ultimately took Young Dolph's life. Now, when we first started talking about this situation, we already knew it was wild, sloppy, and it just seemed like a situation that was planned out that just went all wrong. And now that we made it to day 1 of trial featuring Hernandez Govan, we got clear proof that not only was this a whole situation, this was also a situation that these boys kind of set themselves up from. You know, y'all know what I do with these videos. I basically trigger down to the key points that took place in the trial. And this trial date consists of a few names. One of them who go by Justin Johnson, which a lot of people know for being straight drop. He was actually one of the suspects that made it easy for them to track them down, because he ended up shooting a music video at the same place that the officers found the vehicle that was used in the shooting of Young Dolph. Another person we have being talked about a lot in this situation is Anthony Mims. He also goes by the name of Big Jook, and he's well known for being Yo Gotti's brother. He plays a big part in this situation, and it's crazy. It's crazy. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. And third, we got a suspect who go by the name of Cornelius Smith. In this situation, he's actually the person who spoke to Govan about setting this whole thing up. So basically, it's crazy, right? Because like Straight Drop and Cornelius Smith didn't know each other from a can of paint. They figured out to know each other just to accomplish this mission, which is take one of the PRE members' life for some money. It's just so stupid to me how these boys didn't even know each other, y'all, but they linked up together just to ultimately take one of these boys' lives and get paid for it. And Smith is telling it all. When you watch this video, it's crazy. He's telling it all, and he's also saying Govan is the person who set it up for Yo Gotti's brother, Big Jook. All right, first clip we about to watch is the state explaining what these individuals are being charged with and what the state is actually accusing them of doing.
in March 1st, 2022, in Shelby County, Tennessee, and before the filing of this indictment, did unlawfully, intentionally, with premeditation, and with the intent to commit the offense of first-degree murder, as classified in Tennessee Code Annotated 39-13-202, against the person of Adolph Thornton, Jr., enter into an agreement with each other to commit the said offense, that said Justin Johnson, also known as Straight Drop, Cornelius Smith, Hernandez Govan, and Jamarcus Johnson, acting for the purpose of promoting or facilitating the commission of the said offense, and agreeing that one or more of them would engage in conduct which would constitute the said offense. In furtherance of the conspiracy of the said conspiracy, one or more of the parties to the conspiracy committed an overt act, to wit, Justin Johnson, also known as Straight Drop, traveled to 2370 Airways Boulevard and killed Adolph Thornton, Jr. Cornelius Smith traveled to 2370 Airways Boulevard and killed Adolph Thornton, Jr. Hernandez Govan solicited both Justin Johnson, also known as Straight Drop, and Cornelius Smith to kill Adolph Thornton, Jr. Jamarcus Johnson aided in Justin Johnson, also known as Straight Drop's hideout and escape after the killing of Adolph Thornton, Jr.
All right, What we just heard right there is what basically sums up what they being charged for. Justin being charged for ultimately pulling up to try to murder young Dolph. And so is Cornelius Smith. Hernandez Gavin is basically being charged for trying to set it up. Now, that's what they basically got to fight against. One person we know that's not fighting against the situation is Cornelius Smith. He agreed to testify and tell the full truth in the situation and his part that he played. It's people that already caught pleas over this stuff. Jamarcus Johnson already pleaded guilty to 3 counts of accessory after the fact. So me knowing that it's people already playing out and there's somebody in the case that's basically willing to tell everything that happened, already leaving me to believe, yeah, these boys are cooked. From what I heard already, y'all, this situation was something that was supposed to been happen. Allegedly, all the PR members had some type of money on their head from Cornelius Smith. You know, that's how they getting all the info. And this was just what they knew was going to happen that day, because Young Dolph and them had through turkey drives every year. So they already knew they was going to be in town that year. So this whole thing was a long plan. And the way they executed it, you would think that it wasn't planned at all. I ain't gonna lie, it's just so messy, y'all. But hey, let's get straight into it. All right, now that we know Cornelius Smith is ultimately gonna be the one that they try to use to cook all of these boys, the best thing that the lawyers could do is try to downplay his story and make him seem uncredible. And that's exactly what Govan's lawyer tried to do today. He tried to make his whole story seem uncredible. So what he decided to do is play a clip of a video proving that Cornelius Smith is just this drug addict who would say anything just to get whatever he's looking for.
They talked to you about conspiracy and how Govan picked these 2 individuals. The state chooses to cherry pick a little bit here and a little bit there from each of the statements. But let me play a 5-second clip about how all this supposedly happened. I'm not saying it happened. I'm not saying Govan is involved in one way, shape, or form. But if you want to believe Cornelius Smith, the AK-47 shooter, and God knows how many other shootings he's done, then he'll talk about it. I want you to listen to this.
It was one day, me and Angela was out riding, and I wanted some X pills, so I went to Quit House to get the X pills from him, and Jook was over there. And when I walked in, there was one quick told Jook, this little seat right here, and mine, Jook was like, he don't know. First, he said, take all the phones outside, you know. He ain't say my phone, he was saying quit phone. I passed my phone to make it feel comfortable. So, took the phones outside, and Jook was like, he don't know how they get them, and he got us. And I can't recall like exactly when it was, but that's what he said.
All right. So the state just told you to your face that Mr. Govan picked out 2 desperate people. Cornelius Smith, if you are to believe him, says in his statement, I just happened to be going by Quet's house, Govan's house, to buy some ecstasy pills with my girlfriend. Jook happened to be there. He doesn't say Quet said a word. Jook says there's a hit on everybody, and I got you, and Jook says, take the phones outside while I talk to you. Assuming you believe any of that's true. And the reason I ask you if you think any of that's true is the police never went to question Jook, aka Anthony Mims, or Gotti, or any of the people with CMG. Never once even tried to do an interview. So this is as plain as day. Jook said do it. Quet didn't say anything. Quet lives in the poorest part of Memphis in Orange Mound, sells a few ecstasy pills to make a living, and hustles with some sports gambling. He's a nobody, and that's why I asked you about the peers. He's a throwaway that they can blame. Why did they not talk to Jook or anybody else with CMG? Ever. Now, Jook ended up getting killed in 2024, 2.5 years after the fact. Never arrested, never talked to, never interviewed, never pursued, never surveilled, nothing. The judge also told you when you assess credibility, you need to look at how well you remember this thing. Cornelius Smith cannot even tell you when he was propositioned to go kill somebody. The shooting happened in November 17, 2021. And the best the police can say is that this meeting, what just randomly happened, as Cornelius himself has said, was sometime between August and September, 3 months prior to the shooting taking place. 3 months. He will tell you there's no plan. All he was told by Jook was there's a price on their heads. And that's kind of funny because when the cops, if they testify honestly, will tell you there have been multiple attempts on Mr. Dolph's life. Twice in Charlotte by other folks and once in Los Angeles. Everybody in Memphis knew there was a price on their head because there was a war between PRE and CMG. They were shooting each other. Gotti's car was shot up here. The song 100 Shots came up after one of these things. There's a rivalry going on and people have been shooting. The police went through this. They know this. They also pulled YouTube videos where people are openly threatening to kill Dolph. It's in their slideshow. You know what they call their investigation? Operation Cookie Monster. That's how tasteful this whole thing has gotten with these folks. I'm sorry, my arms are shaking because I'm so furious that we're here as far as the trial goes. So the other thing the government hasn't told you when we talk about first impressions is, for weeks prior to the November 17, 2021 shooting, nobody called Govan, talked to him, did anything, be it Justin Johnson or Cornelius Smith. What Cornelius will tell you, which the government didn't tell you, is that morning, it was Cornelius's daughter's birthday. But he gets a call from Justin Johnson and says, I got a car, let's go do something. They get in the car and they start driving around, just looking for somebody to kill. They just happened to see young Dolph's car going by. And they opened fire. And they killed him. And the interesting thing is, even though nobody communicated with Govan for weeks prior to this, they didn't talk to him that morning. He didn't help him get the car. He didn't help him escape. He didn't tell him what to do. He didn't tell him where to go. He didn't do anything. It was a spontaneous issue between two young men that morning. They shot him. And you know why there's no plan? Because they just start calling random people after the shooting. They don't call Govan. They have to go someplace to get bandaged up as far as that goes. The people that help them, never been charged as accessories to anything. They then get rid of whatever they need to get rid of. They left the car across the street from Govan's house on the middle of the street, in front of the street. So if there's some master plan, that may be one of the dumbest plans you could possibly have if you're going to kill the most important person, the most famous person in Memphis, as far as that goes.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all. So, the lawyer's argument is we cannot trust Cornelius Smith because he's just saying anything. And he's also trying to say that everything that happened was just a coincidence. They was just riding around looking for somebody to kill, and young Dolph in his camouflage car so happened to be the person they choose to kill. Now, if you're a jury listening to this and you don't know who Dolph is, you just know that two people is being charged for killing somebody, you'll probably believe that. But if you got your ears to the street and you're hearing about beefs between two high-ranking people in the music industry, you would automatically assume, hey, somebody probably paid to get this done. But granted, the whole plan was suck. It was terrible. It do look like they just randomly just did some hot stuff because they wanted some cool points or whatever the case may be. Because it was kind of crazy how they did it. But there's a whole story as to why they really probably messed up the initial plan that they did have. But now we about to get straight into the man of the day, Cornelius Smith. He's about to explain how much money each individual had on their head and how he was talked into being the one to execute the mission.
I did for read, make sure my children were straight, pop me a couple pills, make sure I was good. A lot of people.
How many children did you have at the time?
I had 5. I got 5 now, but I had 6.
You had 6 altogether. But
Yeah,
it
was after my son got killed. I had 5.
And who is the mother of those kids?
Letitia Jackson.
So you wanted money to make sure your kids were okay. You pop a few pills, and you'd be all right.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have a girlfriend at the time?
Yes, ma'am.
What's your girlfriend name?
Miss Angela.
Miss Angela, does Miss Angela have a last name? Arnold?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, yeah, 5 kids, a girl, and a girlfriend,
Yes,
and a
ma'am.
pillhead.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So at some point, Mr. Govan asked you if you wanted to make some extra money.
Make some money.
And how were you supposed to make extra money?
Well, he told me that, you know, it was a little bounty on a couple paper out here.
Okay, I ain't understand nothing you said.
It was a hit on, it was a hit at the time on a couple guys in paper out here, on paper out here or whatever.
Okay, and what were some of those individuals' names, if you can recall?
Paper out Woo, Young Dog. I don't know all the names because I ain't know exactly who they were.
At what point did he mention the actual bounties, as you say?
One night leaving getting some pills, he mentioned the prices on, you know, Woo had 50 on his head, Young Dog had 100 on his head, somebody had 5 on their head, 10 on their head. He mentioned the prices too.
So it was almost like a catalog. This
Yeah,
person costs this much.
Yeah,
This person costs
telling us
this much.
who had the money on their head, who had the most money on their head,
And who had the
price.
most? Who had the
Young Dog
most?
had the most money on his head.
And he had 100,000.
100,000 on his head.
And when you say his head,
I mean, if you kill Young Dog, you get $100,000.
okay. At some point, you will testify that about the shooting of Young Dog. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Prior to that, were you involved in any other shootings?
Well, one day, Mr. Govan had provided me with a gun, and he told us that Paper Out Rue was at home one day. So as we approached the house, with me, Bobby, Jessica, and another guy, I don't know the other guy's name, Bobby dropped me off. I get out walking on foot. Paper Out Rue was coming out the house, and he had his gun in his hand at the time, and I was walking up the street. And me and him had a shootout or whatever, and the gun he provided me had jammed up. So, you know, I had to duck and Bob and Weed, and Bobby had got to me. We got in the car and went back to his house and reported what had happened to him. And he was glad I ain't get killed that day right there. But Bob was like, he wasn't messing with this stuff because he was believing what Jess and them told him about we messed it up or whatever. And we didn't have our masks on and all this. So Bobby felt that.
To me, he sound way too comfortable telling his story. It's blowing me how comfortable he just sitting there telling the story, even bringing up recent shootouts that happened with him and Paper Route members before the Young Dog situation. So this is an ongoing thing that just been hanging in there, and they just wasn't able to get the kill, you know, and this is tough. Now we got Govan. He's basically the middleman of this whole situation, and this is also where Big Jook comes into play at, because Govan is basically the person playing middleman for Big Jook to hire the shooters to get the job done.
You know what I'm saying? Shout your woo, and
Hold on, you did a whole lot of whoop.
well, you know, basically saying this the one that shot it, woo, and this one of the ones that I got to, you know what I'm saying, that I got on the business too. And Jook basically like nodding his head like, y'all gonna get y'all money, y'all handle y'all business, you know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna get y'all money.
What was person you decided to describe as quit? What was quit saying?
He was just letting him know that, you know, I was one of the ones that he got on the business, that he had to put the work in or whatever.
Okay.
That he hired for the
Because I'm gonna need you to slow that down. He the one that hired on the business to do what now?
To make one of these, get a hit, do the hit.
Oh.
Do the hit.
I'd like to pass you a photograph. Do you recognize the person in that photograph?
Yeah, it is Quick and Big Jook.
Okay. Your Honor, if we could have that photograph entered into evidence as the next number you see.
No objection.
is a picture of two gentlemen with white shirts, t-shirts on that's been described by the witness as Quet and Big Jook. We'll mark this as exhibit.
You know, before we publish them, simply just ask if you have a time frame with this photo as far as authentication goes.
Sure, let me mark it first. Mark this as exhibit 4 for this hearing.
Nah, I don't know nothing about these photos. I don't know when they would take.
That photo simply identifies the people you described
Yeah.
as
Quick.
Quit and Jook.
Just get mine.
Any objection to
No.
permission to publish, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I later. I say that and it doesn't work. But the individual you described as Jook, is he on the left or right of this photo?
From my angle, he's on the right. The big guy, right on the right.
He's on the right. And the individual on the left, who is that?
That's Quick.
And Jook is the person. Do you know his government name?
Nah, now since I've been locked up, Anthony Mills. Since I've been locked up.
And Quit, you know it's Hernandez Govan. Is that correct?
and there you go, man.
At some point, I'm sure you all exchange phone numbers.
Me and Quick.
Okay.
I never
And
had Juke no.
you never had Jook's number?
Nah, I never had no contact with Juke. Like, how to get into the Juke.
So any conversation about bounties went through Govan. Is that
And
correct?
Govan the one that did all the talking.
Okay.
Now, remember when I mentioned earlier that the situation probably got hectic because the plan went wrong. And one thing that went wrong is the fact that this man Smith actually got shot. So him getting shot wasn't a part of the plan that may have caused them to do things that ultimately got them caught, like parking the car right across the street from where they live at and things of that nature. So they had no choice but to get somewhere quick because they was actually shot.
I hit my arm right here. Now it hit my leg, right? Scraped on my
We're
leg.
not gonna ask you to show
Yeah,
them
yeah.
What did you all do once you were here?
Once we left the cookie shop, I was telling Justin I was hit. And he like, I'm hit too. He was driving. Justin was driving at the time, so I was asking him, is he okay so we won't crash or anything, run into nothing. We went back to the house in front of Mr. Hernandez Govan house, and I jumped out the Mercedes Benz and jumped into a Suburban truck and moved on out the way. Mr. Justin parked.
Let me stop you for a minute. When you all were planning to get hits on any of the PRA artists, and then even once you saw Dolph, did you have a plan as to what you were going to do afterwards?
Not necessarily. We was going back because we ain't know we were gonna get shot. Ain't nobody know we were gonna get shot.
You didn't plan on getting shot.
No man. That wasn't part of the plan.
Had you not got shot, was there a plan in place?
We probably would have just took the car back, jumped in another car, went and burnt the car up, something like that. But we both got shot or whatever, and I was bleeding tremendously bad. We took the car back in front of Mr. Hernandez Govan, across the street from Mr. Hernandez Govan house, and we jumped in the truck. We were trying to get cleaned up, so we were trying to find somewhere for us to go.
Who was he?
Justin.
Justin was trying
To find somewhere for us to go. And in the meantime, he had FaceTime Big Jook, let him know that, that was like our work.
Y'all wanted your money then, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And let me ask you, did he promise to give you your money that day?
He told us he'd get with us when he got done with his kids or whatever, when he got up, one or the other.
But you didn't have Jook's number.
No, ma'am.
So he couldn't get with you directly.
No, ma'am. He couldn't get with me directly.
So how would he have been able to get with you?
I would have had to go through Mr. Hernandez Govan or Justin trying to get with me.
All right. So no plan as to what y'all were going to do after whoever y'all hit that day. You happened to hit Dolph.
Yes, ma'am.
Hit Dolph. You go back where? You go to the
We go across the street from Mr. Annette Govan house. We swap vehicles. And now that's when I had went too fast. This when just was trying to find somewhere for us to go. But he had FaceTime Jook first, and then let him know he was spelling out dog. And then
when you said he was spelling out dog,
like
was he going
jailhouse, D, you know, jailhouse spit.
In American Sign Language he was doing dog?
Nah, it different. It different.
Okay, so more.
Now, as you guys can hear, man, my boy is so comfortably telling it all, and I say he's telling it all with precision. It's like, how could you even argue with what bro is saying when he's already admitting he is the shooter? He's admitting how they was supposed to get paid, how much money that was on each individual head. Bro is telling it all. He even said this man had to take care of his kids before he take care of them. He is spilling it down to the T, which is gonna be a crazy thing to fight against. I ain't gonna lie, man. This is something hard to fight against. Hey, I don't know what to say about that. But he was telling so much to the point that State even had to tell him to slow down. Hold up, boy, you spitting too much information at
At one point, as you were leaving, did you contact Mr. Gotti?
Yes, man. Before we left the apartment, I actually contacted him about getting my phone out the car. That's when he told me to meet him where he get a car wash at.
He also mentioned that
Please turn cell phones off.
Okay.
he also mentioned, I'm sorry, that he mentioned something about cleaning.
About the glass there, that the window had shattered in the street by the house, by his house.
But you all hadn't contacted him to let him know that you had had the hit, right? That you had made the hit on call?
No, we told him when we talked to him at the apartment, you know what I'm saying, he knew that we had just handled the business on dog.
He knew that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what did he say to that?
He was like, he was saying about the glass, like, you know, we gotta get rid of the glass, get rid of the car, basically. Get rid of the car. We gotta burn the car up.
That's what he told you, didn't you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, so you leave out of the apartment complex.
Yes, ma'am.
You get in the car with Angela, as we saw on the video.
Yes, ma'am.
And from Tulane Apartments or Gospel Gardens or Havenport, whatever the name of the apartments are now, you all head where?
Oh, I stopped, got me a cigarette. Then I had headed to Pressure World to meet Mr. Govan.
You made it to Pressure World. You're still in the car with Angela, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You made it to Pressure World. And where is Pressure World?
On Lamar.
Okay. So you were at Pressure World on Lamar. How far is that from where Mr. Govan lives?
A couple minutes, around the corner, ain't far.
You get there. Is he already there?
Yeah, he was already up there. I jumped out the car, and me and him was having a one-on-one discussion. He was saying that he had heard that Dolph had shot one of us, because I told him I was shot. He was like, I heard Dolph shot one of y'all, and y'all blood on the scene. He was like, did y'all have y'all face masks on? Like, yeah, we had our face masks on and stuff like that. And I got my phone from, because I had to go take my dad to work or whatever. And me and Angela had splurred off after that and went to pick my dad up. He called me back again. I'm like, man.
Oh, no, hold on, slow down. I know you got a lot you need to get out.
My bad.
We're going to have to slow it down. We can yellow like this, your
My
suit.
bad, my bad.
Slow it down. All right, so who was he that called
Mr.
you?
Mr. Govan.
Okay, he called you back.
Yeah,
He called you back to Pressure World, or he called you back on the phone?
Nah, he called me back on the phone and was telling me to slow up before I leave from my dad's house, because he wanted to meet me over there or whatever. He was finna pull back up and ask me a question.
Okay. At any point, did he mention paying you your money?
Not right then. He was just saying that, you know, he was gonna give me my money. Right?
When was he saying this?
He been said that, like, at Pressure World, like, all right, we're gonna get that money, you know what I'm saying? Like, basically.
And was And I'm not sure if we mentioned this before, was Mr. Govan to get a cut of the money?
Yes, ma'am. I supposed to gave him 10,000 at my cut.
Okay, was Justin
And he told me Justin supposed to give him 10,000 as well. So I agree with the 10,000 cut. Cause he put me on the lick like I had you to do this. So.
Alright, man. Y'all hear it loud and clear, bro. I don't even think this is gonna last a long time. Obviously, the intelligence level of this guy right here is at an all times minimum. He seemed like he just that person that used to get a lot of drugs from Buddy, and then Buddy ended up putting him on the play, knowing that he'll do it because he was some type of fiend or whatever the case may be. Now, bro even took it as far as mentioning in the court date that Govan's lawyer is known for getting people off of murders.
You chose the one lawyer that you're talking about that said his guy to cooperate and he walked free on murder, and we're here on a murder, right?
Well, you got somebody to walk free before, so I didn't know exactly what my lawyer did. Like, I was just telling him his history. You know?
Okay, well, you know, how do you know that I've gotten somebody to walk free before?
I heard about you. You're a good lawyer.
Okay. I'm not sure how. We've never met, right?
No, we never met, but
I did ask to talk to you.
TV.
Okay, and I have talked to you. I did ask to talk to you through the jail itself several times, right?
Did you ask to talk to me?
Yeah. Did your lawyer tell you that I called multiple times to try to talk to you before trial and they said no, I couldn't talk to you? Do you remember that?
No, I don't.
Your lawyer didn't tell you that?
Objection, Your Honor, relevance.
It's okay, I'll withdraw the question. Could I just have a moment, Your Honor?
That's about it, y'all. We got down to first day of trial, and first day of trial is looking tough. Do I see Govan having the opportunity to maneuver through this situation? Anything is possible. The likelihood is real slim, cause I ain't gonna lie, this dude Smith is going crazy. You know, like, he is literally breaking everything down to the T. Like, he breaking it down so well, I feel like I was there. You feel me? But hey, y'all let me know how y'all feel about this in the comment section below. I'm gonna give it y'all on the next video. Alright guys, we do got VOTD. Make sure you put WVOTD in the comment section below if you feel like this is something we needed to hear. 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 9. The Lord is not slow in keeping his promise, as some understand slowness. Instead, he is patient with you, not wanting anyone to perish, but everyone to come to repentance.